Eau Claire is celebrating its sesquicentennial this week, and at WQOW, we are celebrating by looking at different aspects of the city's history.
Tonight, Felicity Bosk brings us the history of schools in the city of Clearwater.
Public schools. They can sometimes be taken for granted, but are an integral part of what makes a community. And in Eau Claire, one of the oldest is the Montessori School.
This particular building was built in 1911. The first school here was called Lincoln Elementary, and then the school district started calling schools by their wards. So it became 6th Ward School and then 9th Ward School, but people still in the neighborhood would call it Lincoln School.
When Eau Claire was chartered 150 years ago in 1872, many children didn't attend school.
Only a little bit over half of the students that were ages 5 to 17 actually did go to school, and usually it was younger kids. So you would have been in a mixed classroom that wouldn't have been graded. So 1 through 8 would have been all in the same place with the same teachers. Just if you imagine an old-time country school experience, that is exactly what was going on at the time.
17 years later, in 1889, the Eau Claire School District was finally established. But the biggest growth for the district came in the 1950s and 60s.
So really between, in 12 years, you see 5 elementary schools and 2 high schools. It's huge. And then you also have 1,800 kids coming in from the country schools in 1961, also part of the baby boom. So there's this tremendous growth in the school district.
It was during those years Memorial and North High Schools were built, and Central High School closed, eventually becoming the offices for the district.
The schools, they're always changing as the demographics change. So there's a lot of schools that have been added over the years, but a lot that have gone away too, and you're just going to keep seeing it as the population shifts to different parts of the city. They follow the population, just like during the baby boom and just like in the 1870s. They build the schools where the people are.
And there are many public school buildings that still exist, even as classes are no longer held there. When Boyd School closed in 2000, it became condos. And most recently, Little Red School was sold in 2019 to Plumbers and Steamfitters Union 434.
And we can't forget to mention higher education, with UW Eau Claire being founded in 1916.
Eau Claire, as one of the larger communities in the state, had been trying to get a state normal school, which is a teaching college. It had been trying to get one here for decades. And it actually was the last community in Wisconsin to get a state normal school.
But UW Eau Claire was not the only place to get a degree in the city at that time.
The city of Eau Claire actually begins an industrial arts education program in 1912, and that program gradually becomes Chippewa Valley Technical College.
And gradually as well, Eau Claire has become a regional hub for education. Reporting for Eau Claire's own News 18, I'm Felicity Bosk.
All right, thanks, Felicity. Tune in tomorrow for another Eau Claire 150 story. And if you missed any of our others earlier this week, head over to WQOW.com.
Along with this story on our website, you will find a comprehensive guide to the history of all of the schools in Eau Claire.